listening to RAndrewsLive, the podcast with your host, Randy Andrews. On this podcast, we're all about the music and the stories. Each episode, Randy takes different music tracks and puts them to the stories and events of our everyday lives. It's like building a soundtrack to your life and then rock out to it. But it's not just about the tunes. We also bring out guests to share their stories, and we'll give you a behind-the-scenes look into the life of a full-time entertainer. From the sold-out shows to the green rooms, we're here to take you on a wild ride. So grab your headphones and get ready to jam. Here's your host, Randy Andrews.
How's it going, everyone? It is Randy Andrews here, coming to you for another episode of the RAndrewsLive, the podcast. Today we're going to do a little self-reflection on 2022. I'm kind of a slow processor at times. I like to sit back, think, reflect, and just look at everything as a whole after it happens. And then from there, I kind of learn, make some notes, observe, that kind of stuff. But I realized I'm a little behind the ball. I have not done a self-reflection on 2022 as a year in whole yet. So I thought today's a great opportunity. I'm going to bring you guys along for the ride for it. I know this isn't really a sneak peek behind the scenes type episode, but we're going to go with it. So what I'm looking at here is breaking down 2022 as three parts. So we're going to have the good, we're going to have the bad, and we're going to have the ugly. And I want to get you guys a little introspect from my perspective for what I felt was just three of my biggest highlights of the year. Some lows, kind of the bad, I should have done better, but they're learning opportunities. And then the ugly, things that, I screwed up. It just wasn't pretty for me. So along with that, in true RAndrewsLive, we are going to put some music behind these moments. So first up, the easy part, the good. 2022 was a year of kind of exploration, getting out on stage, moving around. I did a lot of shows as a comedy hypnotist, met a lot of really cool people from all over the country. But to me, my highlight, and this is nothing against all the other shows I did, I've had phenomenal shows. The highlight for me for this year was performing live on stage at the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis back in October. One of the reasons it was a big win for me, a huge high, was it was 3 shows. The largest audience I had was 3,500 individuals. It sold out within the first week of tickets opening. The place was packed. The energy was crazy. I did the next day I did 2 shows back to back. All in all, my audience size was over 7,500 individuals. They were high school, college students. There's faculty and advisors. There's lifetime FFA members. And on top of that, the whole weekend that I was out there performing for, it was really cool just to see how everyone kind of interact, get to know the FFA on a deeper level, and see what more people, what that side of the world's like. And by that side, I mean the farming side. I'm not a farmer. I've got family who are, but to look at the agricultural side of business and to realize it's not just you sitting in a tractor, milking cows, raising livestock. There's so much more to it. And I am forever grateful for the National FFA Convention and bringing me out. With that, we did have several different things that came from that show that also kind of tie in with the bad and the ugly. But more to that as we come down. Next one, another highlight for me. I got out of my shell a little bit. My background is in performance psychology, specifically sports psychology, and I use that to help individuals out with whatever they kind of are looking for with hypnosis. Whether it's a little help losing weight, sleeping better at night, having a better, more optimistic outlook on life, or diving real deep into serious problems with individuals such as athletes, overcoming fears and obstacles that they're facing, helping individuals with stage fright, whether it's jumping on stage at a huge convention to give a presentation, or on the lower side of things, maybe it's I don't like public speaking. I got to be in front of my class, give a talk. But I was able to get out there and work with individuals both in person, face to face, and virtually. A lot of people don't realize that, but you can do hypnosis sessions over the internet, through Zoom calls, through Skype, through podcasts. Might be an idea for a later episode. We'll see. And then lastly, a huge win for me, huge victory, was being able to take my family out and travel the country to get them out and see different things. I've got 3 young daughters, and I was able to go out. We did a show in the Chicagoland area and Missouri, and then from there we drove out to Myrtle Beach. They got to stay, hit the ocean. My wife had never, take that back. My wife had been to the ocean one other time beforehand with me, and my daughters, they got to go out, see the ocean. It was March, and it wasn't the best, wasn't the warmest, but it was an experience that they'll never forget, and I'm forever grateful for those opportunities to just come out there, get to take the stage, get to do what I love, help individuals out, and do amazing things with my family because of this extra time and extra income that I get from doing what I love. So with that, I'm going to throw a song out there that is, to me, it was a highlight. It was one of the big songs that I loved listening to while I was driving, and that I love listening to just when I'm getting ready for a show. And this is going to be a little bit weird. It's going to be a little goofy for you, but we're going to throw it out with a Goofy movie. And I'm going to do Stand Out from a Goofy movie. That's going to be the song that when I hear it, it gets me pumped. I love it. And it's just an overall good song. So check out a Goofy movie, Stand Out. If you're not familiar with the movie, it's been out a while. I'm not going to give any spoilers away. I don't want to be that guy, but it came out in the 90s, and it's just got probably one of the best soundtracks to any movie I've ever heard. So a Goofy movie, Stand Out. Next up, The Bad. Dun, dun, dun. So we're going to take a look at The Bad and just little things that I could have done better that, to me, it's not just one little incident that happened that caused it to be a bad moment. It's just a lot of little things just kind of added up. So first off, and this is part of why I'm doing this podcast, I'm committing to all of you for the next year to do a daily podcast, to post more content out, because the first bullet point on The Bad for me is dropping the ball on content creation. I go out, I do an hour to hour and a half show every time I perform. I go out and I see things that are out there that people can explore. Like I go to Memphis, Tennessee. I love Memphis. Take a lot of pictures. I've seen a lot of things there, and there's a lot of things that I should have shared, but I dropped the ball on it. So that, to me, I posted some, but I didn't post everything that I should have. So that's kind of an ugly moment. Or sorry, not an ugly. That's just a bad moment. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been real ugly. Next up, I talked and gave away way too much information on things that I was doing behind the scenes, things that I've been working on that I put a lot of blood, sweat, tears into. Maybe not a whole lot of blood because it's mostly digital stuff, and I didn't cut myself on like knives or nothing, but there was some sweat, some tears, some late nights, a lot of stuff that I built out, and I love helping people. So when someone asks, "Hey Randy, can you give me some advice on this?" or "Hey Randy, I need that," I'm always willing to help. Believe me, I'm here for it. I want to advocate. I don't see others in the industry, other entertainers, whether you're a comedian, a DJ, hypnotist, a mentalist, magician, whatever. If you're a speaker, I'm here to help out. I want to give you as many gold nuggets as I can. But last year, I feel like I gave away a lot of really cool things that were behind the scenes that I discovered that I've been working on, and I didn't get to push play on that for myself. So that was kind of an ugly moment for me. Not ugly, sorry. I keep going ugly. We're not there yet. It gets ugly. That's just a bad moment. But lastly, and this is going to be a good transition from bad to ugly, because I really feel like I dropped the ball on this. I had some individuals in my life that I should have said more to. One individual in particular. So the bad moment here, the bullet point, is that I didn't take the opportunity to let certain individuals know how I feel, let them know how grateful I was for everything that they gave out, I just talked about giving away gold nuggets. There's one individual in particular. He was my old manager, my old agent. But before that, he was also on tour. And before all that, he was kind of an idol for me. I originally saw Dr. Jim Wan perform at my high school. I thought that's cool. And then I saw it again and again and again. I got hypnotized by him multiple times. Did some really weird, crazy things on stage that we'll talk about in later podcast episodes because it's a little ridiculous. But he ended up passing away back in August. And I had things lined up. There's things that I wanted to say to him, things that I had wished I'd gotten off my chest about how grateful I was for everything that he did. And I didn't get that opportunity before he passed away. And because of all that, there's one song that I always played as soon as he let me know that he wasn't doing the best health-wise. And I started playing that song pre-show as my last song for a sound check. I'd sit back on stage, just kind of kick back, relax, look around. I would soak everything in. We'll look at all the empty seats. And I would play the song as a sound check, just make sure everything sounded good through the monitors and for the audience and my microphone. And it was it's a Mitchell Tenpenny song. He's a country artist. I had a chance to see him in concert here a couple years back with my wife, and he had this song. It's called Bucket List. If you haven't heard it, you're going to. If you click the link below in the description, or if you're on Spotify, it'll come up here in a second. But Bucket List by Mitchell Tenpenny, it hit all the right notes for what I was feeling at the time, and for really how grateful I am, and to kind of use the bad moment as a retrospective. We're going to look back at things. We're going to take note, and we're going to say, God, I really wish I would have done this better. Or, oof, I really should have taken this advantage. I dropped the ball. But it's for me going forward, it's a way to look back and reflect on everything that happened, to take account for all those things that we wish we would have said or wish we would have done different. And looking forward, we're going to do it now because we took those opportunities, we're learning, and we're reflecting back. So, for the bad, not a bad song, great song, actually. I really love this song. Mitchell Tenpenny, Bucket List. Go ahead and check that out. And last but not least, the Downright Ugly. You know, I'm not proud of these moments. Not really proud of what I did and how I responded to the issues at the time. First off, I gotta apologize to my friends, my family, people that I left on red. My first thing with the ugly is I spent more time doing useless facts, useless things that I really should have been spending time with my friends, my family. There's a few games I got addicted to. I'm not talking like Sugar Crush level addiction. That's a whole nother level, but there's some things where I should have spent more time dropping what I was doing, just going through useless tasks, trying to fill the time with things that I should have been doing elsewhere with people that I love, people that care about me, my friends, my family. So for that is number one on the ugly. My apologies. Number two, I kind of left myself out there as a doormat for people to walk on. I'm not one for confrontation. I can debate with you. We can have friendly debates. We can talk about things that we disagree with. I'm an open door. We're more so an open door mat, as this was in 2022. There's some people that just kind of walked all over me, and without saying anything, without putting up a fight, without saying, "Hey guys, no, I'm not doing this anymore." Rather than doing that, I just got kind of dumped on, and it was never a good feeling. My wife heard a lot about it. I vented to my real close friends about it, but there are a few people that took advantage of the fact that I don't fight back, and that I'm not going to say no if I know that I can help someone out. And because of that, I got another check mark on my ugly list. It wasn't fun. It's kind of ugly. And then my very last one, I stopped my diet and exercise routine. I know it looks like I'm fit from like here up and the neck up, maybe a little, some strong jaw, but there's a lot to be desired there. I'm not the freakish athlete that I once was in a video game I created of myself years ago, but I was once a pretty decent athlete, and I was in good shape, had good health. I loved it, and I realized that I had this huge plan. I made a binder. I made it look good. I was professional with it. Had a couple of apps. I was tracking things like my macros, my workouts, and I stopped doing it early. Like, that was my New Year's resolution, was to get in shape, to get my goal weight finally, to feel good about myself once again. And I dropped that ball like super early. We're talking January 4th early. So it wasn't good at all. It was really ugly. And I'm still, it's a work in progress, as I like to call it. You know, it's my masterpiece. This is what I'm sculpting. It's going to look good eventually. Put it on display at a museum, but not quite yet. And I think what really got to me was when I was on stage. You know, I'm pretty active. I like to run around. I like to jump around, and I'm talking solid for an hour, hour and a half. Before that, I'm out in the audience. I'm talking to people. I'll jump on the mic. I'll sing a little bit. We'll have some fun. And I realized that I can't do that if I'm out of breath. And it didn't look good when I was up and down, jumping all over the place. Some of my stage clothes were a little tighter than I wanted them to. You know, they were slim fit, not to be slim fit. They just, it was a regular shirt that felt that way. So this year, I'm going to change that. I'm going to jump back on. I'm going to make it to January 5th, maybe 6th if I push it. But we're going to stick to a diet and exercise plan, something that's more reasonable. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time laying it out there. I know what to do. I know how to do it. Just to me, rice cakes don't taste as good as chicken wings. And if you agree with me, awesome. Leave it in the comments. Maybe make a meme of it. Chicken wings better than rice cakes. I said it. I'm going to leave it out there. So for me, the ugly, we are going to throw out a good song for this one. Something that just kind of symbolizes, you know what? We're going to flip the script on, actually. We're going to throw it back to a little TLC, but I'm going to do a different version of this. I'm going to look this up real quick, because there is a song that TLC did years ago that we're going to make this not necessarily about the song is ugly in itself, that the lyrics are talking about how bad you did and how much you screwed up. But I want to do, I might butcher this name, but Anthony Kalia, and we're going Unpretty. It's a TLC song. This is his cover of it. It's an acoustic cover version of it, and it's a great song. But I want to put that out for my ugly. So check it out. Anthony Kalia, Unpretty. It's a TLC acoustic cover. Check that song out for me. Now, okay, I got to push stop before I lose that confidence, lose that drive to push go on this, and throw it out there for all the world to listen to and to check out. And if you haven't yet, if you haven't sat back and done your own reflection on 2022, I highly recommend it. It's fun to an extent. It lets you grow a little bit. It lets you learn more about yourself and what you did and where you want to go in the future. I know where I'm going for the future. The gym, one spot, and not the fridge. That's not my first stop. But 2023, it's going to be a fun year. As promised, I'm going to throw out more content on fixing the bad. There's going to be a lot more content coming your way, daily podcasts. Check out my Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok, and Twitter. There's going to be posts going out every day, too, as well. I'm going to be a lot more active, and I am going to be engaging with every single post that come in. So if you leave a comment, get a comment back. If you're going to follow me, you know what? We're going to follow right back, because it's social networking. We need to network together within our own social atmosphere, our own cloud. So one more follower for you could be a follower for me. I don't really care. I don't know how it works exactly with the algorithms. They constantly change. But going forward, 2023, more content, a better version of myself is what I'm going for, and a whole lot more fun. So make sure you guys stay tuned in to the RAndrewsLive, the podcast. It's a name. We're working with that. And take her easy. Enjoy 2023. Better late than never to get that reflection on 2022. Take her easy, and we will catch you later.
this episode of Randrews Live, the podcast. We hope you had as much fun listening as we did making it. Thanks for tuning in on this journey through the music and stories. Don't forget to hit subscribe and find us on all social media platforms at Randrews Live. From there, you can stay up to date on all the latest episodes. And if you have any comments, questions, or ideas for future episodes, hit us up. We love hearing from our listeners. Until next time, keep on rocking, and we'll see you soon.